Syrupy Waffles.
Hey everybody, thank you all for stopping by. This is just gonna be kind of just a little bit of a let's play kind of thing. I don't really have much of a plan for a future series of this, but really I just wanted to play some games and, just talk while I'm playing them. Because, I talk a lot about video games that I like, but I very rarely, play them in front of you. So, I'm just gonna go through this very casual pace, just talk about things that I like, or just things in general. Sorry about the screen tearing. That's probably gonna be an after effect of this garbage USB HDMI like video capture recorder that I got off of Amazon for like 20 bucks. I do have another one, but it would require me to cast the video to a TV alongside whatever I'm recording the thing on. So this is just, I'm sure that I'll find something if I ever do another one of these where I find like a better video capture device, so that we don't have like this problem in the future. I think I first played Mega Man X off of an emulator on the internet that I found when I was just using the internet on my grandma's computer. And this was many years ago. How I got acquainted with all of these retro games at such a young age was predominantly because of emulators that I found off of the internet. And yeah, they weren't the most legal way to obtain those games at the time, but those emulators opened my eyes to so many things that I probably wouldn't have known about otherwise. And then, after I discovered those old games off of emulators, I started looking them up on the internet, and it's kind of how I discovered YouTube. And, even though I cared a lot about retro games on YouTube when I was younger, I did care quite a lot about plush videos, and that's kind of what kickstarted my whole channel. Like I've said a million times in the past, I used to make plush videos. And even by the time I started, it was like a dying art, and even I wasn't even that big of a fan of it at the time I started making them. I was about 8 years old when I started this channel, and I started doing Mario plush videos. You could still watch them. They're all just unlisted. They're absolutely not great. Sometimes they're funny, but I don't really look back at them fondly. I only keep them uploaded just for posterity's sake. But speaking of old YouTube content, I have a very strong appreciation for a lot of those classic cringe videos, as people would call them. Like you got... Because when YouTube first began, you basically got recommended whatever. It was never, like... I don't think there were any algorithms back then, when YouTube first started. It was just, whatever popped up, popped up. If you wanted to watch it, go watch it. If you didn't want to watch it, you could go past it. And, I'm assuming that's basically how a lot of people found those old cringe videos. Like, the Anime Club. If you guys have never seen that video, I greatly recommend you guys to go watch it. It's this silly little video made by high schoolers who were starting an anime club in their high school. And I'm pretty sure it was a real thing. It was kind of like an advertisement video. I'm assuming they broadcasted it to the rest of the school, or they just showed it off via, like, a link or an email. Because you gotta think, at that time a video like that came out, all of the stuff that we assumed to be, like, the norm was, like, pretty new. It was like the Wild West of, video creation. And even though it's cringy, I find it kind of endearing. Just, to see all of these old cringe videos. We consider them cringe, but it's like an endearing sort of way. Like, I think another great example of, like, an endearing sort of cringe would be from someone like Sammy Classic Sonic fan. Because, while, yes, it's, like, funny how this kid is going absolutely nuts over Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, we kind of did that stuff when we were kids. We all had strong feelings towards the things that we liked. And that's just how the way things were. And I really like that. There's something very special about Sammy Classic Sonic fan, as much as we point and laugh at him. And even then, I think some of his videos, amidst all the screaming and yelling, I think he had some pretty fair points about Sonic. And I agreed with him with quite a lot of things. He was saying a lot of the things that, you know, I wanted to say. I just didn't have the platform nor voice to really tell people about it. The internet's like a real special place. And I don't know where I would be without it. Obviously, there's a lot of people I know who get absolutely destroyed by the internet. And it's real sad to see. I especially see it more nowadays than I did back then. But I feel like it's primarily just because, like, the internet is just so big now and so formalized and so corporatized or whatever. I don't even think that's a word, but I'm sure you could get what I'm saying. It's just like anybody could make these videos. And I know, like, anybody could make videos back then, but really it feels like with the technology and stuff that people have these days, it's much easier for someone to put something of higher quality out there, and I feel like it's less... It feels a little bit less special that way, you know? I oftentimes get comments on things like my YouTube poops or whatever. People telling me, like, oh, this feels so nostalgic, and, like, you're like a master of a dying art. And it's not that I'm trying to, harken back feelings to a particular era. I just want to make things that I want to see. And I'm not seeing that many, like, classic YouTube poops anymore. YouTube poops, I mean, they still exist, and they're by no means ruined by anything. It's just that they've become so good, and less crappy, that, you know, people are usually expecting a much more high-quality product when they're coming for a YouTube poop. But, I do like making YouTube poops, and I will continue to make them on a very haphazard basis. I kind of make those videos when I'm bored. You know, have some clips laying around of, like, an anime, or, like, CDI. Maybe I could come up with one good idea, and then I make a video off of it. Some people have told me that, like, I have, like, a strong hatred for the word content. I don't like the word content, because I feel like it's a very broad kind of term for anything. Especially for something like on YouTube. Like, I'm an influencer making content. Like, that just feels wrong to me. It feels like you're thinking of yourself way higher than you actually are. You're making stupid YouTube videos. You're not like this big corporatized artist or whatever. You content. I just never liked the word. Hence why I just never use it. I don't consider myself a content creator, I consider myself a YouTuber. And I guess my insistence on calling videos and not content could be chalked up to my sort of old-fashioned mindset towards a lot of things. Lots of people say that I'm very old-fashioned. I mean, look at me now. I'm playing a game from like 1991, I think. Like, I am in a very, very, very unique crowd when it comes to, like, my interests and stuff. Obviously, I've been exposed to more people who are sort of like me on the internet, but, they still feel very much connected to the modern day, in a sense. Which is by no means terrible. I'm not saying that, like, you have to enjoy old things in a certain way. I actually don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know. I lose track of things sometimes. I apologize. That's why this is such, like, a very, like, random one-note kind of thing that I'm doing here with this video. I might make this a series, might split it up into parts, who knows. But, I really, really would like feedback, if you guys are interested in possibly seeing, more of these little Let's Play sort of things, because, you know, I wasn't really thinking that it would be very good of an idea. I'm not really the kind of personality who would work well for, like, a Let's Player sort of format. But, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun making this. Just talking into a microphone, playing Mega Man. It's fun. Maybe one day I might do it with, like, a friend. I have tried to make sort of like a Game Grumps-esque styled, series, but, I would really have to find a friend of mine who is, you know, has a nice attitude about the whole thing, and, can bounce off of me in a engaging sort of way, because if it's just me talking on a group Let's Play or whatever, then that's not interesting. You want to hear the other side of the story. What's the other guy thinking? I feel like it's important to have everybody to have sort of like an equal voice. But going back to like old YouTube stuff, where I just find random nonsense on the internet, if you're interested to see what kind of crazy videos I like to reference, like all the time, like not just in videos, but with friends, feel free to look at my favorites playlist. Obviously there's some new stuff in there, and maybe sometimes there's stuff that isn't, like, funny, it's just kind of cool videos I find. But I think everybody should have their own favorites playlist. I miss the old YouTube favorites feature. Because as simple as it was, I think it built some sort of, like, community with other YouTubers. Like, what's this guy like? Maybe I should check out the YouTubers that this guy likes if I like him. You know. One of my favorite things that I used to watch on YouTube back in the day were Angry Birds videos. Now, if you could name an Angry Birds video from like 2011 to 2014, I'd probably be able to know exactly what it is. Some of my favorite ones were done by this one channel. I forget their name. I think it was Two Awesome Twins. I could be wrong. I might put up an image of what I'm talking about in a minute, but you probably know what they are. They were these live-action Angry Birds videos, but they had the actual, like, animated characters, and they were interacting with the... Oops. They were interacting with them in a very creative way, just sort of, like, flinging the birds around. I don't know why. I was looking back at those old Angry Birds videos that I used to watch, and I noticed that there were so many dislikes. And obviously I was really young at the time, and I was really oblivious to, like, what else people were thinking. But, did people hate Angry Birds back then? I would assume back then it would be considered what we consider today, like, a content farm. But, is that the reason? Maybe I'm just thinking a little bit too deep, but maybe people thought it was for kids. I don't know. But I don't understand why people didn't like them. They're very charming, cutesy little videos that, you know, you could obviously tell they were just made for fun by a couple teenagers, kids. Didn't matter.